It was a Sunday morning, September 15th, 1963. I, like many other people, were either at church or getting ready to go to church. And at 10:22, you could hear the rumblings of an explosion. For about 5 to 10 minutes after that sound, everything was quiet and calm because people were waiting to hear what was it. And shortly afterwards, the word went out that it had been a bombing at 16th Street Baptist Church. And at the time, we did not know that there was a loss of life. But my father got in the car. He took me along with him, and we came over here. And it was like a magnet for many other people to come to the church to begin the process of going through the rubble to dig out survivors. And as I sat in the car watching everything that was going on, word came that the girls had been killed. There were many others injured also on that day. And people began to wonder, were other churches going to be bombed? Were other young people going to be killed that day? And the word went out, not just here in Birmingham, but all over the country, that a church sanctuary had been violated, that innocent lives had been lost. And I think that's what compelled the nation and this state and this city to take a second look at the culture and the environment that we have. And I often tell people that, yes, Birmingham has been defined in the past by the dogs and the hose pipes on the black and white film, but I would like to also think that we were defined by people stepping up, that silent majority finally stepping up and saying, we cannot have a city that will allow people with such evil hearts to bomb our churches. We cannot call ourselves a just society if we allow innocent children to be killed. And out of that came a new Birmingham. Out of that came the Birmingham that you see today.
It started out as a normal Sunday morning in Birmingham, Alabama. The children sat peacefully in their Sunday school classes. Over 200 people congregated to worship the same God as the white supremacists who would later decide their fate. The devastating events of September 15th, 1963 will be remembered throughout history. Only 18 days after Martin Luther King Jr. gave his infamous "I Have a Dream" speech, the Ku Klux Klan became fueled with hatred and administered a 16-stick bomb of blasting dynamite at a predominantly African-American Baptist church. This was also the place where many influential civil rights leaders met. It started with 4 members of the KKK splinter group, the Cahaba Boys, who carried out this tragedy. They placed the bomb under the stairs of the church that took the lives of 4 young girls, 14-year-olds, Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, and 11-year-old Denise McNair, and injured many. The bombing also resulted in riots that later killed 2 African-American boys. The pro-segregation Alabama governor and the FBI successfully covered up the identity of the 4 guilty members of the Cahaba Boys. These members were not brought to justice until 12 years after the incident. They used tactics of violence to intimidate and spread fear amongst the African American community. Birmingham, also known as Bombingham, was one of the most racially discriminatory and segregated cities in America during the 1960s. This town held the church that was a physical symbol of the civil rights movement. Being a physical symbol of the civil rights movement, advocates such as W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Paul Robeson, and Marian Anderson made appearances there. The bombers attempted to get to the source of the civil rights movement and its members by demolishing a church that housed a large population of African American civilians. Although the KKK wanted to instill fear within the black community, they did the exact opposite. This incident infuriated the African Americans, and instead of hiding from fear and halting the civil rights movement like the KKK had hoped for, they fought back harder than before. Not only were the blacks mad, but some whites were enraged as well. Many of these whites helped the families of the girls through any means they could. The support of the white community was shown when over 8,000 people attended the girls' funerals. President Kennedy later said, If these cruel and tragic events can only awaken that city and state, if they can only awaken this entire nation to a realization of the folly of racial injustice and hatred and violence, then it is not too late for all concerned to unite in steps towards peaceful progress before more lives are lost. A rush of national grief swept the nation, and a spotlight went on to the civil rights movement. This encouraged the passing of the 1964 Civil Rights Act.